Are you always coming up with ideas? Do you marvel at successful business owners? Do you hate being told what to do? Ever take things apart just to see how they work? Are you a dreamer? If you've answered yes to any of these questions, this podcast is for you. Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Enclave with Kevin Wortham, the podcast that focuses on building, maintaining, pivoting, planning, and investing in you, the entrepreneur. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Pro Tapes and Specialties is the world leader in tape manufacturing and specialty conversion with over 40 years of experience. In addition to our pro brand of high-quality specialty adhesive tapes, we provide contract converting services that help improve your profitability, streamline your supply chain, and reduce inventory cost. We offer the most complete range of converting capabilities in the industry, such as cloth tape, double-coated tape, specialty tape, paper tape, masking tape, vinyl tape,
carton sealing tape, adhesive transfer tape, duct tape, foam tape, electrical tape, filament tape, foil tape, reflective tape.
And the tape just keeps on rolling. Visit us online today at www.protapes.com or call us at 800-345-0234. Pro Tapes, it's just how we roll.
Welcome to another fantastic episode of the Entrepreneurial Enclave, Life's Coming Attraction. I am your host, Kevin Wortham, and this evening, I am so excited because I've got the one and only Nina Dawkins on the line. Nina, how are you?
I'm well. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So let's just get started. Who is Nina? Where did this entrepreneurial spirit come from?
Well, let's see. I am born and raised Trentonian.
Yes.
I escaped for about 7 years, moved to Beaufort, South Carolina, and then found my way back home.
Yes.
I missed it so much. Where did the entrepreneurial spirit come from? Let's see. I think I've always been that go-to person in my family.
Okay.
So whether it was making arrangements for dinner or funding nightclubs, travel arrangements, I was the it person. Wow.
Because I see you on Facebook, and you're always doing, I think one of your companies is called Laff Out Loud?
Correct.
Tell us about that, because I know that's one of the companies that I follow. So tell me about that whole venue, that whole piece right there.
Laff Out Loud, the actual title is Laff Out Loud by Nina Landy. So my business partner, who is Yolanda Robinson, she came to me a few years ago. She had this vision about starting a comedy show in the Trenton area.
Yes.
So I had already previously been booking agents, different comedians with another group, and outside of that. So when she came to me, and I'm like, sure, why not? Laughter is my heart. Comedy is my heart.
Yes.
So, and that's how simple it was. She called me, and I said, okay, let's go. The name came about, and we've been up and running, I want to say 10 years.
Wow. Now, who is the most famous comedian that you've brought to the local stage?
Local? I would say famous. We have different levels of famous.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
My favorites are, I have so many, but Trey Gordon from out of Philadelphia, who does soul comedy.
Yes.
Talent, who is from the New York area. He's called It's Only Comedy. He's from out of New York.
Okay.
I booked TK Kirkland here. I booked Michael Blackson. We'll be doing some stuff with some more really, really soon.
Okay.
So those are probably the names that everyone will know.
Yes.
But I work with everyone.
So Moore is from the Trenton area, correct?
Correct. Yes, she is.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And
She's
so
the queen of comedy and our own Trentonian.
Absolutely. And I think that the city of Trenton should be doing more to support her, not just her, but all of the big greats that have come out of Trenton.
Exactly.
But we don't do that. We should have like this one big festive day or weekend where we invite these folks to come back. If they don't want to come back, we should have a big photo of who they are, but still celebrate their greatness, that they came from Trenton.
That sounds amazing. And, you know, I would be absolutely in for that.
But think about this. We're always talking about the struggle that we're having in the community. If we would just pay homage to the boys and girls, the men and women who have left Trenton but don't come back for various reasons, can you imagine what that would look like for our own psyche? Because you know that you're coming from greatness.
Right. That would be awesome.
Wow.
And I think our younger generation would learn from that.
Absolutely.
Learn for definitely.
Yeah. So you've been doing Laff Out Loud for 10 years.
Yeah.
And so when did the travel agency piece, when did that kick in?
As I said, so I was that it person for my family, but officially on the books, owning my own agency, that has been about 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So I normally do, I do a little bit of everything. So it's corporate, whether you're doing a class reunion, a family reunion, if you just want to do a solo trip, if you're looking for like a spa trip, any kind of excursion that you need, then I book, whether it's international, U.S. bound. We actually have a group going to Egypt in April. So I do everything from hotels, flights, bus tours, safaris, as I said, meditation, yoga tours, anything under the sun.
Wow. That's all right. Yeah, because you and I, we had talked about trying to get together to do something, but we'll have to put that on hold for a second. But I want to circle back around with you to do that. So,
sure.
In your opportunity hindsight, right? What were some of the things you think you did wrong, or what were some of the things you think you did well?
In reference to travel, or
just in general, being an entrepreneur, where do you think you've had some missteps?
I would think probably trusting, and I'm going to say that, just trusting certain individuals.
Okay.
You have, and I'm the type of person that will welcome any and everyone.
Yes.
They say you trust your gut instinct. Sometimes I will ignore that just to give an individual a chance, and be like, okay, I knew better. Something told me not to.
Yes.
So it took me a while to learn how to say no to certain ventures.
Gotcha.
Because I've been burnt a few times. So I learned my lesson from that. I'm too eager to help.
Okay.
And I think that's my problem is.
Okay.
Because I want everybody to get, win on whatever level they're trying to get to. So me connecting to different people and opening up my door and my information, sometimes that's a downfall that I have.
Now, what has been your best experience being an entrepreneur?
That is having repeat customers.
Okay, repeat customers.
For the comedy, just seeing the audience. Putting on events is very stressful.
Yes.
So you're constantly promoting, your marketing. Ticket sales might not be as great as you want it to be, but when you do all that running around and you stress about, the numbers and so forth, at the end of the night, when you see everyone enjoying themselves, when you see people laugh and you see people pulling out tissues, like tears from their eyes from that laughter, that's the best.
Now, during the pandemic, and some of us think that we're still in some portion of the pandemic, how were you able to survive entrepreneurially?
It's been a struggle, honestly. Okay. It has been a real struggle. I know everyone was talking about these PPP loans and all this other stuff. So we actually had to travel, of course, shut down.
Yes.
So there's no commission coming from that. And the comedy had to stop because, of course, we couldn't get into the buildings like we normally do.
Yes.
Now, we did think about doing like the online stuff, but we were like, we just might as well just wait until everything is done and just to get our feet back, get us back into the game.
Okay.
So it's slowly coming back into it. Actually, our first show was supposed to be in January 2nd.
Yes.
Because of the new numbers that were coming up, we thought it best to just wait for a little bit. So actually, our actual first show of this year will be February 6th.
Okay, cool. And so where, in terms of the travel agent aspect, where has been your best location thus far that you've traveled to?
Oh, wow. It's so many. I love,
good.
Aruba.
Okay.
I love Dominican Republic.
Okay.
before all this happened, I would try to travel at least twice a year to each location.
Okay.
But U.S. wise, of course, Florida is always a go-to spot. It's inexpensive. You almost have the feel of the Caribbean water.
Okay.
If you go to like Clearwater or Sarasota or something like that, their water is just as clear as being a Caribbean, but you're local.
Got you.
Save you some money.
And so because you've been doing this for so long and you've built up reputations and relationships, they roll out the red carpet for a Nina Dawkins experience, right?
We have an awesome time. Yes,
awesome.
It's an honor. So we get invitations. I get invitation to come check out resorts.
Okay.
A lot of times I don't pay anything. If I do pay anything, it's like very minimal.
Okay.
So that's how I get to travel so often.
Wow. Now, how did you get into the travel industry? Were you already working in the industry and you decided to branch off and do your own thing? How did you do that?
I was not working in the industry. As I said, I would book trips for family members and friends.
Wow.
And that's how, and I was already doing it. So my cousin, who's my director, Valencia Tolbert, she was telling me, join me, check out this information. This is what I do. Cause she was traveling a lot. And I'm like, wait a minute, weren't you just in, wherever you were on somebody's beach later? I'm like, how are you traveling so much?
Yes.
He's like, this is what I was telling you that I'm doing. So she was a travel agent or is a travel agent. So she actually brought me in. It took me about a year to realize, okay, I need to get on this like right now.
Gotcha.
So after that, it was easy sailing from there.
Now I've had a lot of conversations with African American men and women during the during the podcast talking about the pandemic. Mm-hmm. Are you seeing a lot more women start businesses than men?
I have. Okay. I have over the last year, I would say, year and a half, when everything kind of shut down. I've been seeing a lot of us brown women starting new businesses.
And what do you think is the reasoning behind that?
I think we actually had time to sit down and just think. We had more time on our hands. We couldn't go to work.
Okay.
We couldn't be out doing, out spending money, going to events or whatever it was, just staying busy. We actually had time to sit down and kind of home into whatever our talents were. So whether it was starting shea butter line or starting T-shirts or accessories, anything under the sun, doing credit, fixing people's credits.
Yes.
I've been seeing a lot of different things, whether you're maybe event planner for venues, things of that nature. A lot of new businesses have started because of the pandemic. Okay.
Now, so you're in the industry. Is the industry quite competitive for Black and brown folk?
Extremely.
Okay. And give me an example as to how competitive it is.
I'm sorry, say it again.
I said, give me an example as to how competitive the industry is.
Well, because I want to say we sometimes have the same kind of line of inventory.
Okay.
Somebody's pricing may be a little less, than yours.
Gotcha.
So it's just trying to figure out, maneuver. Your product may be the same or maybe even better, but because that other person is a couple dollars less than yours.
Got you.
So that's the competitive part. Just trying to get your brand out there, get your marketing out there, and then having the people come to your site or visit your product and know that your product is just as good as the next person. Yeah.
Now, do you think that you could teach a class on starting a business, running a business?
That's not my lane. That's not my lane. I mean, I would definitely come and speak to the youth or have a few classes on the travel industry,
yes.
or even either comedy or just booking.
Okay.
I definitely wouldn't mind, but it wouldn't be like something that I would like jump into.
All right. Now, you've got the agency going on.
Yeah.
What have been, and I think I asked part of this before, what has been some other pitfalls that you've had to overcome in terms of running the agency? the travel agency?
I think for me, it's time management.
Okay.
Because you'll have, and just me, I don't know about anybody else, but I have like 50 million things going on at one time. And then when someone reaches out to me for a quote, so just pretty much like reaching out, finding the adequate time, getting the information that the clients need, getting that information to them within like a 2-day turnaround time.
Okay.
I try to extend myself out for where I'll say, give me like 4 days, but I try to have the information in 2.
Yes.
So I think, as I said, it's just more so time management for myself.
Okay. Okay. And so every time you book a particular, I guess, trip, right? Or I don't know when to call it. What do you call it? A trip?
It's a trip, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you go with the group?
It depends.
Okay.
I've gone to several group trips, and for me, I'm more concerned of making sure that everything goes well.
Okay.
So that's me, and I think I probably do like my mother hen a little bit too much. I want to make sure that everyone has their ticket. Everyone
Yes.
gets to where they need to be. Everyone checks in, okay, their rooms are right.
Yes.
Making sure that they're okay doing whatever activities they're doing. So me, I think I just do a little extra, but I feel better for my clients, and I think it gives my clients more of a personal feel.
Yeah, hands on. Yes.
Hands on, right? Exactly.
Yes. I like that. So we're traveling, and typically, what are some of the dates? Not the dates, but the range that folks will stay with you. Is it 2 days, 3 days? Is it a week? Is it 2 weeks? When they ask you,
normally you mean for just traveling in all?
Yeah, in general. I mean, when people want you to put together a package, what's the typical time frame for that package that you'll put together for them?
Normally, depending on the group, it may be 5 days
Okay.
of travel, but it really depends on their destination. Because if you're traveling international, you're going to spend half of the day, if not majority of the day, traveling.
Okay.
So you got to get to the airport 3 hours in advance, and then you have to take the flight, which may be 4 hours. Then by the time you get to the airport and you have to get to the resort, your day is pretty much gone.
Yes.
So I take that one day to travel. The rest of the day is like getting out, enjoying the resort, the beaches, and so forth, and then traveling back. I would always suggest at least 5 days, but if you don't have that time, I've had clients that do long weekends.
Okay.
So if they leave maybe on a Thursday night or early Friday morning, come back Sunday night, they still have like 3 days they actually went out and did something different.
Wow. Okay, good.
Yeah.
And so now I guess when you're putting together the package, a lot of your packages that you design, they could be thematically packages like girls' night out, men's night out, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you find a lot of men travel?
They do. You'd be surprised. And a lot of us brown men travel as well. And
Yeah.
I think I think a lot of them now, both men and women are doing solo trips.
Okay.
You know how you start out with a group?
Yes.
And then by the time the deposit is due and everything else, it kind of dwindles down.
Yes.
So you get a lot of solo travelers,
Gotcha.
or you may have 2 travelers.
Gotcha.
So, but I do find a lot of men are traveling by themselves.
And I see a lot of women. I see a lot of the women creating travel packages and going out by themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually had a young lady always travel with her family.
Yes.
And I would say she was in her early 30s. And she said, I've never been to Miami. And I'm like, really? Are you serious? She's like, no, I've never been to Miami. I said, okay. She's like, I'm nervous. I've never been to Miami. I've never been on a trip by myself.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, let's take a baby step. So I booked everything for her. I made sure the hotel was in the heart of everything. So she stayed at South Beach. I made sure she had a spa reservation done. She had her dinner reservations done, which wasn't too far from where she was staying.
Yes.
And I would call periodically or text her just to check in on her.
Okay.
She came back and she said, thank you. I would never would have done this without you. And she had an amazing time.
Wow.
So she's traveling now.
Wow. That's all right. That's all right. I guess a year from now, looking at a crystal ball, where is Nina Dawkins in terms of Laff Out Loud? What are we doing?
Within a year, I would love to have our name cross country. As I said, we book different things. I had events in Atlanta. I've done, me personally done, Nina Dawkins Entertainment personally has done events, 2 events in Miami, done an event in New Orleans. But I definitely would like to see our names more nationwide. So
Okay.
whether it's just booking or just doing like a one night only type of, one night only at a venue in Houston or, wherever the state may be.
Okay. Okay. And that's both for the travel and that's both for Laugh Out Loud, or that's just for Laugh Out Loud?
Both.
Okay. Interesting. And are you, I think that are you taking the strategic steps to place yourself out there, your name out there, your brand out there?
Yeah. So as I said, since we were in the pandemic,
Yeah.
it's given me a lot of time to like kind of really think what I would like to do or what I'd like to see our business name. So just reinventing our logos, doing our marketing over again, reaching out to different venues to introduce ourselves in a company.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're actually in the plans of that. So it would be like creating video promos. So we're trying to get all that down, T-shirts, all that good stuff.
Wow. One of the things I find interesting about the industry is that it seems to have this trajectory on its own, mm-hmm. where I see more women travel, but I don't see the men travel, but I also see more of the women taking opportunities just to relocate around the country and to really network with women that they meet when they go to these packages. Yep.
They absolutely do. They absolutely do. As I said, we have people that, and there's so many travel groups on social media. So you have, I think it's brown girls traveling, black travel, solo travel, single travel. So women are going out, and I think the bubble is kind of going away, okay. Where you have to be not afraid to travel, but you can't deny yourself or you neglect yourself from traveling because you're by yourself.
Yes.
You do your homework. You make sure the safety is there. You always are aware. There's key things to know when you do travel alone. It's certain things that you do, but just don't be afraid. Because if you are, you'll never go anywhere. You never get the experience of what the world has to offer you.
Very true.
Missing out on meeting amazing individuals.
Yes.
So, I think definitely believe that a lot of us are traveling solo, and it's places, international places that you would never would have thought of.
Wow. Interesting. So, do you ever think that you would have a physical venue? Like, did you ever think about that, having a physical permanent location for Laugh Out Loud? Did you ever think about that?
Yeah, I thought about that. Actually, that was a vision of mine a couple of years ago before everything happened.
Okay.
And me personally, I like the intimacy of smaller venues. Okay. I know everybody said you get, more lucrative, you have a bigger venue, more seating, more people can come. But sometimes you lose the art. When you
say intimacy, you're saying 100 people or less?
For me, 150.
Okay.
Would be good. Yeah. And you still have artists and you have bigger name artists that like to come to smaller venues.
Gotcha.
And that's so they can practice their new material before they get to the bigger stages.
Got you.
So that's always something that's in the back of my mind of people just popping up to perform.
You being the proprietor for a venue such as this would be right up your alley. But going to a small venue with top name, man, you're almost like a target because there's not that many people for the artist to look at. He may see something funny about you. Man, I remember a few years ago back in Pittsburgh, right? Small venue like Comedy Laugh House or something like that. Right. D.L. Hewley was there. And I think there had to be under 100, maybe like 150 people. And when he got fired up, man, the place was so small, he was just cracking on everybody. I was like, thank God. I'm like, thank God I'm sitting in the back because I'm out of his crosshairs. Because man,
And sometimes sitting in the back is not safe either, because you will have those that like to walk around.
yes.
And if you are not aware of the comedian, you can walk in, don't know who Joe is to the left or right,
Yes.
and then have them get introduced,
Mm-hmm.
and they already see you walk through already.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
over.
Oh, yeah, man, those would be like fighting words for me. Like, man, brother.
No, but it's all in fun. I tell people you have to have thick skin.
Yeah.
Like, you're coming to a comedy show, so everyone can get it.
Absolutely. But that was a good day. I was in a laughing mood. I was good. My skin was thick.
Excellent.
I was
Good.
good. But
So you're not the so you weren't the one outside waiting to fight. You were good.
no, like, come here, man. Let me speak to you for a second. I don't like you.
Right. Excellent.
Man, so now, when you have you ever done anything to Vegas? Have you done shows in Vegas?
I have not done anything in Vegas. I do have a couple comedy friends actually that moved to Vegas maybe about 3 years ago.
Okay.
We were in talks of doing something there, but of course everything shut down.
Yeah.
So that kind of ended everything.
You know where one would be good, right? If the Dallas Cowboys, because I know everybody, like, who doesn't love Dallas, right? I'm not a big fan, but just for business purposes, can you imagine the Dallas Cowboys playing a football game with, say, the Las Vegas Raiders? What kind of weekend would that be?
That'd be something else.
You ever think about putting together a package like that?
I have for just like individuals,
Okay.
Nothing like a group package. The only thing about certain football games, especially like Super Bowl or whatever,
Yes.
the pricing for tickets are extremely high.
Okay.
So I have done a few Super Bowl packages for individual, like for 2 or 4 people. But again, when I say that the tickets just to go in to actually see the game,
Yes.
they're running about $4,500 to $6,000 and higher.
Yeah.
Everybody can't afford, to do that. So, but definitely would love to put something together where it's just a regular hype, like you said, it's a hype game.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to be a part of it. Which I know we can go in there and get tickets. Everybody can see the game.
Yeah.
Then do a little comedy the next day, and just make it a full weekend.
Yeah. Now, Nina, so what's the legacy that you're creating? What's the legacy that you want to leave behind as you do these entrepreneurial ventures?
I think more so on the laughter part. For me, as I said, laughter for me is healing.
Okay.
So if I can, if anything, just laugh out loud, being that engine that brought some joy into individual hearts, and you have that laughter that will last for a lifetime. You could be in a down mood and just think about maybe what a comic had said on a certain night at one of our shows.
Yes.
And just remember that moment.
Okay. Now for the travel, what would be the legacy for that? For traveling?
Travel, maybe not almost the same level. It's just
Okay.
the experience. Just the experience of having a personal relationship with clients, just to make their dreams come true. Putting the itinerary together is something they can tell their kids about.
Yes.
Maybe take their family, at a later time. Just a relationship of that.
Okay. Now, I teach business classes, so I've got to ask this question. When you were in the process of starting both business ventures, did you create a business plan?
That I did not do, and that was a mistake.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I did not do.
So why was that such a mistake?
I think it wouldn't, if I would have had a business plan.
Yes.
I think financially wise, it would have been a little bit better. Not
Okay.
as stressful, even though like putting things together is stressful, but I think just having that plan down from the beginning to the end, financially wise, it would have been a little bit better for us.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that first. Nina says you got to put together a business plan, right? Let them know that.
Please do.
Oh, so Nina, with the time that we have left, and I just thank you. This has been a wonderful, wonderful, informative interview. Is there anything that you want the listening audience to know about you and your business?
in all, as I said, I've been doing this for years, even when I wasn't making commissions or actually having fees for the comedians and DJs that I booked, because I did it from my heart.
Yes.
So with that, I would like to say you have to live your dream. You have to know what talent God has given you.
Yes.
It may not happen right away. It will take some time. You will have some losses. Take that back. You will have many losses.
Yes.
But at the end, when you see your glory, you see your final product, it all makes sense.
So you're going to say that perseverance and faith has been the key to your success.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
How strong is your faith as you were doing these business ventures?
Extremely. As I said, we've had some trying times where, honestly, I was like, I had enough.
I want to give up.
People wouldn't show up to shows.
Yes.
And then the thing that would get me and us is that we can have the same lineup as another city, Philadelphia, New York. I mean, the same exact comedians.
Yes.
But people would travel out of state and not come to our venue.
Yes.
And our prices were half of what, other states were giving. And then at times it's like, okay, that's it. All right. They don't appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else to do. I'm like, we can't say it's free because we have comedians to pay.
Yes.
I was like, okay, I'm done. And then the next morning, okay, let's go. I'm back.
I've licked my wounds. I'm ready. Let's go.
I was like, that's it. Okay, the pity party is over. What's up next?
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to love it. I can't. This game, and everybody says, comedians say it's a game, and we do because we're in that industry.
Yes.
But if an individual is looking to get rich off of comedy, that's not going to happen.
Okay. You
have to enjoy your production. You have to love what you do.
Yes.
You get some with your connections, and if you do it right, and you say the janky promoters.
Yeah.
You have those individuals. As I said, you have to stay away from if you think it's fast money.
Mm-hmm.
There's no such thing. There's no such thing. There's been plenty of times I said we've lost money on a comedy show. Okay. But we'll have another show the next month because we know it's required, it's needed. Yes. Laughter is needed. Yes. So I'm happy. Things could be better, just like anything else. But I don't have a weak heart. I don't have a weak spirit. Okay. And I'm here for the long haul.
Now, did you ever think about moving into music?
Sorry?
You ever think about moving into music, like sponsoring some concerts or creating concerts?
We've done it as well.
Okay.
We actually had a session called R&B Live.
Yes.
So we had like live bands that would come into me. Actually, we had them at Candlelight on Sunday. Okay. So we had Grace Little. We had a couple other bands. The names are escaping me right now, but we tried it for a little bit. But as I said, because I do it all. Yes. So whether if you're looking, and I have another brand called Nina Dawkins Entertainment. So I book DJs, live bands, things of that nature. Okay. Comedians. So I do booking as well outside of just doing the comedy promotions. Got you. Okay. Excellent. Nina, you have been fantastic. I just thank you for taking the time out to allow yourself to be interviewed for the Entrepreneur Enclave. And I hope that the listening audience got something out of being an entrepreneur. Because I hope so. I thank you so much. This has been an honor. Thank you. I mean, the key focus is to talk about the success and the trials and tribulations that we as entrepreneurs face, particularly Black and brown entrepreneurs face in the career of trying to be successful. So again, Nina, thank you so much. Thank you. And I want to say one more thing before we leave. By all means, please. Please don't be ashamed to ask for help. Well, say more about that. That's the only way that we learn. Okay. That's the only way that we'll advance. If you know somebody is doing the same thing or have been doing it, please reach out to that individual. Yes. And ask for assistance. Yes. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm on all social medias. or reach out to Kevin. He can reach me.
No. Listen, you take the time and you give them your point of contact. This is your show now, and this is your opportunity to shine. Go ahead. Go ahead, Nina.
Okay, so the easiest would be a text because, of course, I have a regular 9 to 5.
Yes.
So the number would be 609-954-6776. If you would like to email me, it's Laff Out Loud 2, and that's spelled LAFF out loud, the number 2 at gmail.com.
Now, I never knew that. So, man, I was going to end the podcast, but I got to spend a few more minutes asking this question. So, I didn't know you had a full-time job, a real job.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh,
yes, sir.
So you are juggling multiple things, young lady.
I am. I work for, I don't know if I can say it, but I work for Superior Court actually out of town. So I actually commute on the train.
What?
So that's my 9 to 5. Besides the booking and the comedy shows and the travel. So and then whatever community service that I do as well on the weekends. So yeah, I stay busy.
Wow. So I know when you go to bed at night, you have no time to fool around. Sleep is coming quickly.
What are you talking about bed? What's that?
Okay, understood. Few winks.
I take a cat nap. Okay, wow. I pass out about 3 o'clock. I wake up about 5, and the day is off and running again.
Wow. Listen, I am so proud of you. Thank you. Wow. So I'm seeing a new venture just birthing from this. It's like a master class to have successful entrepreneurs just come on to a Zoom platform, take 5 or 10 minutes to kind of share with the audience. How do you maintain this success? Nina, man, I didn't even know this. I thought you were just all entertainment, all travel. I didn't know you were maintaining so much.
Sir.
Wow.
I do entertainment contracts. I find venues for people to have their events, whether, So I definitely would. It would be an honor for me. You set it up with the Zoom, let me know the dates, and we can make it happen. And
then to put our business out there in the street, and you find time for me on Cigar Tuesdays when we're in session.
I love Cigar Tuesday. Congratulations with that.
Now, like you, I like Cigar Tuesday because of the intimacy.
Right.
12 to 15 people so you can get real conversation and real networking. So I certainly do understand the real intimacy as you spoke about. But Nina,
and I love it.
Yeah, thank you. So once we get through this pandemic, it's been suspended for now. We're going to open it back up, and hopefully we can come back out and enjoy each other's company again.
And I will be there.
I know if you're not traveling or making people laugh, you will be there. I know that.
I will be there.
Nina Dawkins, thank you so much. Much success.
Thank you so much for having me.
Continued blessings. We'll talk and text later on. Thank you again.
You as well.
All right.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
That concludes another episode of The Entrepreneurial Enclave with Kevin Wortham, the podcast that focuses on building, maintaining, pivoting, planning, and investing in you, the entrepreneur. We hope you found this episode informative and enlightening. We look forward to you joining us for our next one. Until next time.